Hey, let's play Pain Train. This is Homeless Poster.
And I'm Jackson.
And we're going to go ahead and polish off the rest of World 5 here, the Cloud World.
First thing we have to do is gamble, obviously, though.
I always have to gamble. Wow, it immediately failed me. I guess it really wasn't a good method.
I almost wonder if each specific one is...
timed differently?
I wouldn't say timed differently, but you can only win certain ones.
I could certainly see, like, Nintendo having, like, that strange level of, like, focused, like, code stuff into the game that you normally would never encounter in any meaningful way. But all of a sudden, it suddenly takes, like, a whole different meaning for, like, the purpose of what we're doing. Alright, if I recall... Made it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty short level.
This one and the next one are actually not terribly long. They're a little bit difficult because it does throw a lot of stuff at you, you know, from off-screen, and especially in World 9, the screen scrolls, and there's just no way to know what's going to hit you until you get there.
Well, now, if I remember, this one's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, this was the one that I've been calling back to throughout the rest of the World 5 videos, where I thought that there was a scrolling world that didn't have any ground below you. It's this one. So it was a little bit easier in my memory because it wasn't the entire World 5, but this one is still pretty much a bitch.
Well, this one sucks because, as we'll see here in a second, you can't jump through these blocks. You have to make some of these, like, weird sideways jumps.
Boomerang jumps, yeah.
And we've got these assholes. And do we know their names?
These flaming chain jumps. Man, I haven't known the names of the monsters in, like, the last 4 worlds. I don't know why spontaneously this is going to change. Now this gets to the point where then you have another one coming after you, which you then have to do that, and then you got to get up on this one very quickly, and then here's the pipe, so you're home free, my man. Nice job. And then Lakitu again.
I still just don't understand the purpose of Lakitu right there.
Because he's like, hey, fuck you, I'm still here.
Like, I suppose if you don't just go for it and you just hang around at the pipe for a bit, he'll start, like, spamming.
Yeah, and I guess feasibly you could rack up, you know, at least 1 free life if you just let him coat the screen with the spinies. Alright, here we go. Mario Brothers 2 sprite again. But yeah, I agree. The Boomerang Brothers that are at the end of some of the World 2 levels are actually a lot more of a pain in the butt than just the random Lakitu floating up there.
And I even understand those. Like, those make sense. I just don't think Lakitu really makes sense right there.
I mean, I guess he's like a little dude floating in a cloud. Like, if there was a world where it was going to make sense to have him, the second half of World 5, where you were exclusively floating in the clouds, is probably the most reasonable place to put him.
But why not put him in the clouds? Like, I guess just his position.
Like makes the clouds like a tangible thing that he actually pops out of?
Well, no, I mean, just put him in like a cloud portion of the level, like just his positioning there, just at the end of the level.
Well,
just doesn't make sense to me.
You were still walking on clouds at the end of the level.
I know, but whatever.
Let it go. Let it go.
This was 15 years ago. Longer, 15 years ago. I think it was 15 years ago. I don't remember.
Alright, now this part has also proved to be kind of a pain in...
Because
you gotta
of
be
that.
kidding me. Because the cannonballs pop out of the ground, and normally you'd walk right over them and you'd be fine. But we don't want to kill anything. You know what? I almost gotta wonder, like, a cannonball's not really an enemy, per se. Like, you're just avoiding the ammunition of the ship.
Yeah, but it gives you points, so therefore we're gonna avoid it.
Yes. So, actually, this was a low score run. I didn't realize we were doing that, but that's the best way to characterize it.
Well, if you destroy it and it gives you points, then...
Is that good enough? Is that what we're calling it?
Well...
I mean, it's ammunition. It's not like you're really killing a guy.
I guess it's kind of weird that, yeah, like, these things just shoot, like, cannonballs, whereas then you also have bullet bills.
And you also have bombs, which are apparently things, like...
So you have to wonder, like, why Bowser...
Why did he skimp on it? Why did this just come down to cannonballs?
why did Bowser just not always use cannonballs, so he could spare some bullet bills' lives? Or why not just use all bullet bills?
Well, I think it kind of comes down to, and this could be completely me just fabricating stuff, but if I remember the rulebook, or the game manual for Mario Brothers 1, for the original Nintendo, I'm pretty sure the plot to Mario 1 was that Bowser used his magic to turn, every damn time, to turn all of the inhabitants of the Mushroom Kingdom into either the Goombas and the Koopa Troopas that, you know, now compose his army, or all those bricks scattered throughout the entire game that you always bashed through. I'm pretty sure the Toads that, like, wouldn't side with him, he turned them into those bricks.
He turned them into bricks?
Again, I could be completely fabricating this, but that's what I recall from the manual.
Well, maybe you misinterpreted it. Maybe like those jumping bricks. Maybe those are the bricks they were turned into.
Those weren't in Mario Bros. 1. Those were only in 3 now. That was the first time we've had them.
Well,
and I don't think they've been in the Mario games since. Like, they were exclusively in this game.
Maybe Bowser stopped doing that.
Like, he gave it a trial run, the boys in R&D had a really good idea, so he was like, fine, go ahead, run with it.
Well, I mean, obviously the fact that there was...
You gotta be kidding me!
Obviously the fact that there was more games proved that it didn't work.
Right. They weren't the most threatening of enemies that you could face.
Now, to be fair, he still keeps throwing out Goombas all the time. Which I don't really understand, but...
Yeah, and you know what, too? Like, I know it's like, you know, jokes made on the internet that, like, maybe Peach wants, you know, Bowser to abduct her, and, you know, certainly if fan fiction is any indication, they have gotten it on, and it is hot and steamy.
Well...
But I don't think the game's ever, like, even in the manuals, like, explain where the Koopa Kids came from. And, like, why they would be different than a regular Koopa Troopa. Like, a regular Koopa Troopa is, like, just stupid, and so then the Koopa Kids are, like, the unique, intelligent ones, or...
I mean, I don't think you can deny that there's something weird going on with Peach and Bowser. 'Cause, I mean, if you just look at, like, this game, so he turns all of the kings into...
whatever
different sprites. Why does he just turn... like, what's so special Princess Peach?
Well, clearly he wants to bang her, or marry her, or whatever the PG version. You're gonna get hosed. Wow. That was tremendous. You gonna make it through here okay?
I don't know.
I think you're good. Just go. Just go.
You're gonna go as fast as the screen will go.
Why did you allow that to happen? You were clear. You were in the home stretch.
I thought Bullet Bill was coming after me.
No. If you're ever touching the platform, even if you're not touching the black part, if you're touching the wood that it's on...
I know that, but...
Much like with the piranha plants.
But I didn't think I made it.
Oh.
I thought he was going to launch one out right before I got to it.
I mean, this has just been a whole bunch of tomfoolery on your and my behalf.
To be fair, we did pretty good on the rest of this world, so...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was practice. We definitely did several takes on some of the levels, but I mean, it more or less went smoothly. This is just such a pain in the butt, because the ammunition that he fires, it just makes it so difficult not to hit it. Like, they clearly set the level up so that you would walk on top of those bullets.
You were meant to.
Like, that was the point of that.
Which, again, is just bad design on Bowser's part, if you ask me.
Yeah, like, what's the point of ammunition that's harmless? Like... Why is he loading his warships with ammunition that ultimately... You've got to be kidding me! I just can't believe you can't clear the jump onto that gray part.
Yeah, I mean...
I gotta believe, like, maybe get a raccoon tail or something, then you can get over to it.
Yeah, you definitely could.
Because I remember as a kid very clearly just bypassing that whole scenario.
There is little, like, space where you could probably gain enough room to just fly across.
Well, prior to it. I'm pretty sure prior to it, there's enough of a flat ground that you can get some height, but...
Well, that's not for us, so we don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, is this even like a labor of love, or is this like some kind of a, like, masochistic thing? Like, I haven't figured out what our angle is yet.
Well, it's definitely somewhat masochistic.
Yeah, don't let him jump on the bullet. It's interesting too because you can see like the lightning, you know, flashing in the background, and then, you know, now on the Super Nintendo format when they've got these windows on the side of the ship, you can even see the lightning like reflected. It flashes in the windows too. It almost seems like they had, or maybe it's just me really being hopeful, that at one point they were going to allow you to go into more of those tubes, or they were going to be like separate passages. I just can't imagine why else they'd have windows in random areas that otherwise serve no function.
So this time.
Alright, this time.
This time.
This damn time. Alright. Got a good feeling about this. I guess the shame of it is, like, the game, you know, obviously the screen scrolls the same speed every time, so it's not like you can even, you know, like, speed it up to the part where you're frustrated with. Like, you've got to ride through all of this, and then, after enough repetitions, you stop paying attention, or you forget what comes next.
You start getting lazy.
Yeah, and then you die to something stupid, and it's like, oh, man. I guess that was probably one of the coolest things about Super Mario World, was that it actually added checkpoints to a lot of the levels, so you didn't have to beat it all on one go. Nope, I knew that was going to go poorly.
I almost feel like you have to let the screen scroll some more.
Like stay on that bullet bill box.
Yeah, but before you head into all that, so you can just run through without having to bullshit around with the screen.
Yeah, I mean that's almost an enemy in and of itself. Like, and arguably it's the most dangerous enemy that Bowser has devised. Like, the levels where the screen scrolls without your input, those are the most frustrating ones.
Now, how does that even make any sense? Like in reality.
I guess the idea is that, you know, the airship has velocity, so if you were to jump feasibly, you know, you would leave the airship behind you.
I get that, but what about like the cloud levels?
What do you mean?
So like you have like it's usually like the air levels in the clouds that have the automatically moving screen.
Oh, maybe for those levels Mario just gets like sucked up into the jet stream. Like he just like millions of miles above the Mushroom Kingdom, and you get this a run. I guess that was actually the most successful attempt we've had in a bit. Alright, you're good. So now the actual Koopa Kid in this one, I want to say is Roy Koopa? Or Agent Smith Koopa, but when he bounces, it actually shakes the ground and it'll paralyze you if it's Mario, and you're touching the ground. No, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. 2 jumps in.
I thought he was going to just land right under me, but he slid.
He also has a very low bounce, too. Yeah. Like, he doesn't actually give you a lot of vertical height on the bounce. Anyway, he quakes the ground if you're on the ground when he touches, whether it's a jump or the hiding in his shell from being stomped on, so you can't even just jump on his head repeatedly and stun him. And it's just the best way to cap off a scrolling level that sucked.
Well, especially because if you get stopped, it's pretty much deadly because he'll just shoot his wand at you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you somehow manage to wind up on the complete opposite end of the chamber.
You might have some time, but...
Yeah, it's pretty much death.
So just don't let it freeze you, basically.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story here.
Well, and I haven't even had enough skill to get to the point where he could freeze me.
I said go and just let it scroll a bit.
Just stay on it. Okay. Seem to have worked so far. Alright, well, let's see if we can lay him out this time.
Nice.
You gotta be kidding me. No! Oh! Wow! I'm not gonna lie, that was completely unintentional. And the lowest wand catch.
I don't think you've got a good wand catch this entire game.
I don't know why you keep letting me defeat the airships. I've already indicated that I am no good at catching the wand at the apex.
Yeah, you're right. It's almost just not even worth it.
You really have no one but yourself to blame is the thing.
I'm sorry.
So this is like, I guess, Father Christmas, which kind of makes sense because World 6 is the ice level.
How does that make sense? He's the king of this world.
Well, right, but he's the gatekeeper to the ice level. Like, you have to surpass him to get to the ice level.
Not really.
In a cloud. I mean, that's always fun.
Alright, well, I think we should go ahead and end this video now.
Yeah, we'll sign off here, and we'll catch up with you guys next time.
Alright, see ya.